Today we have lesson number 9. It's about networks. And just before we go to know what is networks, this field, I want you to know this field, it's big. Networking and networks, it's big, and the people study like a lot on this field, and they're working actually in networking. But today we're going to have the fundamentals or basic things. Any person who's trying to be a developer and study with us in this roadmap, he should to know some basic and fundamental things about networks. All right, let us jump to see what is networks. What is networks? Network is a group of connected devices, can be our phones. Some devices like computer and phones connecting to each other, this is network, all right? So for example, the computers, phones, and other devices that your family using are all part of your home network. Exactly, when we have a router, which like wireless Wi-Fi, and all your siblings, your family, your dad, your mom, they're using this device or this network. All of these devices that everybody uses in his hands, they connect to the same network. So when you got a new laptop, phones, and you connected them to the Wi-Fi, you are joining those devices to your home network. Exactly. When you also buy a new device, computer or phone, first thing when you get back to the home, you're trying to connect it to your own home network. So that's also mean network. So why do we need network? Why we need it? We need it for devices in the same network can easily communicate and share resources with each other. For example, when we have different phones or using the same network, it's easily to communicate and sharing resources like videos, pictures, or for example, control your TV with your mobile, or you can stream videos from your mobile to your TV, plus sharing videos, pictures. We need the network because the devices, it's easily communicated. You can sending, as we said, pictures and videos, and we share the resources with each other very easy. All right. The networks has types. Networks has types. How many types networks has? Networks has 2 types. First one, it's LAN, local area network. Second one, it's WAN, wide area network. WAN, it's bigger than LAN, but first let us see what is LAN, and after that we'll jump or we'll explain what is WAN in the end of the video. All right, what is LAN? LAN is local area network that has a group of connected devices. LAN, group of connected devices. Some devices connected to each other. This is a LAN, all right? Local area network. LAN is a type of network made up of nearby devices like computers or phones. That's true. For example, when you use you and your siblings and your mom and your dad, the same network, same Wi-Fi that exists in your home, and you take yourself with the device out of the home, you cannot connect anymore to that network. Why? Because it's just made up of nearby devices. It should to be close to each other, these devices, to connect to that same network. That is LAN. A LAN can have anywhere from a few devices like a home network to hundreds of devices like a school or hospital. Large organizations like colleges can have multiple LANs, maybe one per building. That's true. For example, when you go to university, and in each universities, usually they have different buildings. For example, college for business, college for medicine, whatever. So each building, it has its own LAN. They have a lot of routers, but each building or each college has its own LAN. So yeah, LAN can also use 200 of devices like school, hospital, colleges, and etc. etc. So communicating on LAN, how the devices or the computers or the phones communicate on LAN. We have two connection types. First, we have the wired, using wire or cables with Ethernet. When you heard Ethernet in your future, you know these devices or these computers connecting to each other through wire or cables, all right? And we have wireless that everybody uses nowadays, I know. Without wires, using Wi-Fi. Everybody knows what is Wi-Fi. So first, let us explain what is wired. All right, we have some computers. We want to connect them to each other through something called Ethernet or using Ethernet. To connect them using Ethernet, we should to have device, it's called switch. This switch, it's give each computer a different cable. I saw here now, this is the switch, and it has for each computer different cable. We'll have one cable for this computer, one cable for second computer, another cable for this computer, and fourth cable for this computer. So switch, it will send or it will give each computer a specific cable to each computer. And that's, we called it Ethernet. That computer or devices connecting to each other through wires or cables, all right? So Ethernet is what? It's rules that computers follow for communicating on a wired network. Ethernet, it's some rules together to let the devices or computer or devices generally to communicate on wired, like to communicate each other with wire or cables, all right? And we have in other side wireless. Wireless we use for its router, and there is no cables or wires that everybody uses nowadays, and we called it wireless. Wireless is rules that computers follow for communicating through radio signals. Ethernet is wired, but wireless, how the computers and devices communicate with each other through the router, through wireless, through something called radio signals, all right? And it's known as Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a popular way to connect wirelessly to a network. And if I ask you now, what is mean or Wi-Fi standard for what? 90% of the video that doesn't know it, included me, I just know it for this lesson. So I don't want to show off, okay? I just want to tell you what is, I want to tell you just what is Wi-Fi stand for. Wi-Fi stand for wireless fidelity. Fidelity, if you translate to another English word, it will be loyalty, honesty. So it was like a marketing name, I think. Wireless fidelity, it was marketing name. Why they name it like this? Don't ask me, because I know why they name it like this. So Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. All right. As we said, Ethernet, it has some rules that communicate the computer on wire, and also wireless, it has some rules, communicate the computers or devices through a radio signals. Okay, these rules, what they call them? Those rules are called what in networking? What they called it? They called it protocol. So when you heard protocol in your feature later as a developer, you should know that protocol is a standard set of rules for how devices communicate through wire or wireless. Protocol is a standard set of rules for how devices communicate through wire or wireless. So as we said, we have LAN and WAN. WAN is bigger than LAN, but LAN, now what we explain it, and LAN, it has two ways, two connection types to devices. We have Ethernet, like through cables, wires, and we have wireless through radio signals. It's popular with Wi-Fi. And these rules, we call it protocol in networking, and the protocol stands for set of rules for how devices communicate through wire or wireless. All right, so this is a LAN. Let's jump and see what is WAN. WAN is a wide area network. Wide area network. WAN is made of connecting LANs that are far from each other, like in different parts of country or the world. For example, you have one LAN and another LAN and third LAN. All these LANs together, they create something called WAN. WAN connecting thousands or even millions of devices. As you see in this picture, I have one LAN and I have another LAN and I have this third LAN. All these LANs, it's create for me a WAN. For example, big bank. Let's take example about HSBC Bank or City American Bank or whatever. These banks, it has a lot of different branches around the world. How these devices of the bank communicate to each other or see the same accounts of the clients around the world. For example, I'm here now in Europe and I want to travel to America. I have HSBC Bank and it has a branch in America. How the people, the HSBC Bank in America, the branch in America, how they see my account and how much I have, while I didn't open it in America, I opened it here in Europe. How they see this? They say this through something called WAN, that connecting thousands, even millions of devices. WAN, it's help and it's support these things. So now we have a small homework. The homework, it will be about to answer me this question and put it down below in the comments. What is network? Why do we need network? What is LAN is one? How computers communicate together? What is Ethernet? What is wireless? What is protocol? What is Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi stands for what? That was for the lesson of today, guys. See you next lesson. It's about programming language. You will like it so much. So see you next lesson, guys. Ciao.